just in case there's any stepping on the brakes like so, or having to swerve, or having to turn a sharp bend unexpectedly or something. Cake deliveries has gone to be one of the most nerve-wracking aspects of the cake business. And you're welcome to my world. My name is Oluchi Imoh, and you're welcome to this channel where I talk about cake business. I share tips on personal development, entrepreneurship. I do story time and vlogs as well, and you're welcome. Yes, I know it's been a while. I've been under the weather for some time, but I'm getting better, and I just can't wait, or I couldn't wait to record a video anymore. That's why I'm here. So let's do this. We're going to be talking today about delivering your cakes successfully or delivering your cakes safely. What are the things that you can do? What are the tips that you need to know? And if it's something you're interested in, or you've been a victim of cake mishap, then you definitely want to keep on watching, because I'll be right back with some tips. You're welcome back. So the first tip I'll be sharing will be to Dole your cakes. Dole your cakes. Now I know some of us have been in this position, or we are in the class of people or category of bakers that don't Dole our cakes and we just send them off. I'm saying this because I used to be there once, so I know that it's possible that you're not Doling your cakes before sending out. Of course, I've had a few questions even on my channel. Ma, what do you mean by Doling cake? When you say Dole, what is a Dole? So there is a possibility, and it's actually possible, and it's a thing. Let me say it's actually a thing that some people who are new in this business do not know what the Dole is, or do not know what it means to Dole a cake. So Doling a cake means giving structure to your cake, putting things called the Dole into your cake to give it support. So it's important that the first thing you should do is to start to Dole your cakes. Now, if you're a baker that makes cakes that are tall, like 3, 4, 5, 6 layered cakes, you don't want to take the risk of sending them out without putting structure in this cakes to help secure and make them safe for delivery. Dole your cakes and Dole right. Dole your cakes and Dole right, meaning don't use just one Dole. You just put the Dole in the center and you think that is all and you think you're good to go. No, you're taking a risk. For me, I do north, south, east, and west. I hope I'm right. No, if I'm not right, please pardon me. So I put on the 4 corners, I put 1, 2, 3, 4, and then Dole the center as well, depending on the distance. So if it's going very far, the farther the distance, or the farther the distance, the more Dole rods I use. But if it's somewhere that is not too far, I can play around with 4, 3. But I put them strategically in my cakes so that I do not have any stories that touch at the end of the day. Now I'm going to address the issue of using Doles, which we call skewers. So you use things like skewers for your cake and you think you're good to go. Skewers are those thin bamboo sticks that you use for, what do they call, kebab sticks? Yes, so they are kebab sticks that you use in your cakes. Those things, in my opinion, are too thin to give proper structure to your cake. So go for the wooden Dole rod, the plastic Dole rods, or bubble straws if that's what available in your location, so that it gives proper structure to your cake. You need something that is firm enough, you need something that's good enough, that is strong enough to hold your cake in place, just in case there's any stepping on the brakes like so, or having to swerve, or having to turn a sharp bend unexpectedly or something. You need something that will give structure to your cake. So please Dole, and do not just Dole right, and Dole with the right things, or the right Dole materials or Doling tools. Okay, so one thing I'll be talking about is how you need to place your cake. So different bakers, different teachers with different schools of thoughts, but I'm going to be sharing places that are used depending on the occasion and depending on the type of cake and depending on the availability of space in the car, because sometimes you might just be going somewhere and you feel, oh, I want to take this cake along, and then you have some other people in the car, or I'm going this direction so I want to deliver the cake at the same time, or I'm going to an event, I'm attending the event, my family members are attending the event, and I also will be taking the cake for the event along. So in that case where you have people in the car, what are you going to do? So the 3 places I'll be sharing will be on the seat of the car. You can put it on the seat of the car, but ensure that you have something to level that cake and keep it in place so that it stays straight. The seat of the car is not straight like so. Am I right? So it's not straight like this. You have it something like this. So if you don't put your cakes well, there's a tendency that your cake is going to be slanted, and that is risky because your cake can slide off. So you want something to keep it this way. So you need to put some support under. It could be a bottle of water, it could be a book, it could be something that will just help you level it. Another place you can put your cake safely is on the floor of the car. That's very, very safe. If it's a small cake like a 6, or if you're using like a 10-inch box or a 12-inch box, it can fit nicely snugly into the front without any issue. But if they are big cakes, you know that you don't want to be dragging space and dragging with how to put the box there safely, and at the end of the day squash your cakes. Another place, the third place I'll be talking about will be in the trunk of the car or the boot of the car, like we know it here. So put it there, and then you can use non-slip mats or use things to keep it in place. If your boot is not flat, if the material is made of, or that place is made of, is not smooth, is slippery and smooth, then you want to use a non-slip mat or put a material there, fabric there, or something that would help the cake stay in place and not slide left, right, front and center all over the place. So these are the safe places that I know that you can put it, but whatever works for you is fine, okay? But if you've been using it and you've been having issues with your delivery, then you need to change and try something else. So I hope that is clear. The third point I'll be sharing is this: stick your board to your cake properly. Now, these are the things that you can use, or these are things that I know that people use. You could either use buttercream. For me, I use buttercream most of the time, almost all the time. And when I use buttercream, I use a buttercream that is stiffer than what I use for my chrome coating, like the buttercream in its raw form that is stiff enough to hold. Okay, another thing you can use is melted chocolate. That's so nice. So if you can afford to, then by all means you can use melted chocolate. Some other people also use mashed fondant. Mashed fondant is just your fondant that has been made softer or lighter with water. So you mash it up and then use it to stick your cake so that it stays in place and it doesn't move or slide out of place in transit. Another thing you can do is to use sturdy packaging and packaging that fits well. So if you're using a 12-inch board for your cake, probably an 8-inch cake with a 12-inch board, then you know you're going to use a 12-inch box so that it fits snugly, it fits well, and it doesn't move or slide in transit. Very important. Looks like it's not an important point, but I tell you that it is. Use a sturdy box so that when you carry it, the box is not so soft that it begins to press and dent and mess up your cake. All right, so these are the things I think you should note. I know that you should note when it comes to cake deliveries. Another thing to save yourself the stress of being worried about your delivery is to deliver early. I've delivered early a couple of times, and I tell you, it's just a relief. It's just a great relief because the roads are free. You can get to your destination in time. The weather is cool. The sun is not out here. It's not so hot that you'll be afraid of maybe your whipped cream melting or something happening, or being stuck in traffic, things like that. The road is very free. There are less people on the road, and you can deliver your cakes in good time. So I've delivered cakes as early as 4, 5, 6. The person that delivers for me likes to deliver, especially when he's going far to the mainland. For those of you that are staying in Lagos, Nigeria, he likes to leave very early in the morning so that before you know it, he's back. And it's usually a very good one for me. It's not very convenient, but I mean, the cake gets to the client before 7 a.m., before 8 a.m., and everybody is fine, right? So deliver early when the weather is still cold. When the weather is still cold, less traffic on the road, less hassles, and you are going to be, it just makes sense, basically. So deliver early when the road is still free, less hassle, less people on the road, and you will thank me later for it. So another thing is to drive with care. School the people that are delivering for you, or if you're delivering yourself, if you're in Lagos, Nigeria, you need to drive for yourself, or drive yourself and drive the people that are to your left, to your right, in front and behind you. Okay, so you have to be alert, your full senses alert, no distractions, everything out, so that you're just watching, and then if anything happens, at least you can mitigate the risk or the level of the damage that might happen. So please be careful when you drive. Don't drive on high speed. Ensure that you plan yourself on time so that you can finish in good time and deliver in good time as well. Now, another thing I'll be sharing is to give your cake some support in the sense that, for me, let me just use a pretty good example. So in December, I made these treat boxes that had cupcakes in them as well. So what I did was to stick the cupcakes to the box, the base of the cupcakes to the box. I think I used royal icing or mashed paste to stick them to the box so that it will not move in transit. Now, these are cupcakes. If you have to put cupcakes on a cake board, you might also want to consider doing this as well. I think you should even consider, this is something you should do. Don't just put cupcakes on a board without giving it some sort of support, or without making it adhere or stick to the board. Use royal icing, but I would say you should use gum paste because it's better and works well than royal icing. Okay, so use mashed paste, stick these cupcakes to the board so that they stay secure and do not move here and there in transit. Now, the final point I'll be sharing is this: get your details correctly. The less time you have to spend on the road, the better for you. So get the address, please. I don't know, but for me, I do not rely on Google. Past experiences have taught me not to rely on Google. So get the address, get landmarks, and know how long it will take, so that you don't start going round and round trying to locate the place that you're going to deliver to. If it's an event center, try to get details, landmarks, a number of someone you can call, a contact number, so that you spend less time on the road and you just deliver straight to the venue. Now, I believe that these tips will go a long way to help you in your cake delivery. Please, if you have questions, feel free to ask me in the comments. I'll be willing to answer to the best of my knowledge. And if you're yet to subscribe to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Please subscribe to my channel. Give this video a thumbs up so that other people will get to see it, and share with those in your caking communities. If you're yet to turn on notifications, please turn on. Until I see you in the next video, stay happy, stay safe, and stay blessed.